Hello, and welcome to the first of what is hopefully many occurrences of a review of activity within the Achievement Hunters Inc. Discord server.
This is going to be a monthly segment hosted by myself, Bojake Horseman, and LeftArmofExodia, so let's get started.
Firstly, we are going to talk about achievement totals. There was a grand total of 157 games completed this month, adding up to a staggering 5,943 achievements all in. Keep this number in mind as we will see if we are able to beat this next month. Next, we are going to cover upcoming Steam sales. For the month ahead, we have Tower Defense Fest between the 29th of July to the 5th of August, Fighting Games Fest, again, between the 5th of August to the 12th of August, and finally Rhythm Fest between the 19th of August to the 26th of August.
Moving on, we are going to talk about Completion of the Week. We've spoken to each of the Completion of the Week winners to get their thoughts and feelings on winning this award. These are their responses. For the week of July 7th, we had Sokyo with Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. This was 58 achievements total, coming in at 77 hours of playtime. This is what they had to say about their game. When we asked why did they complete this game, they said they wanted to complete all of the Resident Evil games, and it's certainly one of them. Resident Evil is their favorite franchise, and specifically Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is their most favorite game in the series. The atmosphere, the soundtrack, specifically that of the safe room, is so chilling. The DLCs are also quite good. The DLC 21 specifically was a great time because they love gambling. When we asked them what their favorite part of the game was, they said they went in blind and really loved about half the game. It was so scary, and the father Jack provides so much of in-your-face terror and drives much of the game's early combat. The end of the Zoe DLC was also really good. When asked what their least favorite part of the game was, they said that they hate playing as Mia in the boat area. There's not enough guns, not enough equipment, and that annoying Eveline. When asked if there was anything extra they'd like to add to the masses, that this is definitely one of the best Resident Evil games. If you love a first-person game, you should certainly try it out. Next, we have the week of July 14th, where Zach won with Puyo Puyo Tetris. This was 42 achievements totaling 24 hours of playtime. Here's what Zach had to say about the game. When we asked why did he complete the game, he says, I completed it because I like Tetris and Puyo Puyo seemed interesting to me, and it's also in the challenge enthusiast group for 20 points if you 3-star every stage. When asked what his favorite part of the game was, he says it's a fun little game if you're interested in Tetris or Puyo Puyo. It's not super difficult to 100% because you don't have to get 3 out of 3 stars on each stage to complete it. When asked what the least favorite part of the game was, he says any part of the game that used party mode or fusion mode because both of those modes kinda disregard the fundamentals of Tetris and Puyo Puyo. When asked if there was anything else he wanted to add, he says it has a cute story, and characters it kinda resembles an anime. There's a few multiplayer achievements and you probably have to boost them because the online is dead in that game. For the week of July 21st, we had Razazika with The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. This was a mind-blowing 637 achievements, totaling 2,386 hours of playtime. When we asked what was their favorite part of the game, they said, I completed it because it's been my favorite game for the past 7 years. It's quite a long time. It's really good to play when my brain was overwhelmed and I wanted to beat the whole thing no matter how long it took. When we asked what their favorite part of the game was, they said, I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite part, but since my least favorite character was the Tainted Lost, where you have to beat all of the super bosses without getting hit at all, I can probably say that my favorite character, the one I had the easiest time with, was Tainted Lilith. When asked what the least favorite part of the game was, they said the most frustrating thing was around 600 hours it randomly deleted my save file. And at the time, I didn't realize that it actually maintains a save file history and I could have gone and recovered. When it did that again a couple months ago, I panicked, but this time I was able to recover it. Finally, for the last week of July, July 28th, we have our humble host himself, LeftArmofExodia, with Mass Effect Andromeda. This was 55 achievements across 48.8 hours of playtime. This is what Exodia had to say. When we asked why did you complete the game, he said I've played Mass Effect 1 through 3 far too much, but I've never played Andromeda. It was on sale over the summer, and I figured I might as well get to it and see what it's like to be able to say I 100%ed every Mass Effect game. When asked what their favorite part was, he said without going into spoilers, the concept of the evolution of the Ket, who are the main antagonist species in the series. When asked what his least favorite part was, the design of the quest. I feel the game transitioned to open world much worse than anyone expected. Far too many fetch quests or moving between 4 planets and talking to one person each to progress the series along. Now moving on to the bounty section. We currently have one outstanding bounty for blood and bacon. The reward for this is Tropical 4. Completed bounties this month were Buckshot Roulette by Shadzi, Neon White by Dyshax, and Streamer Life Simulator completed by Gems. Our last area to cover is a little slice of life from your host. What are we currently working on at the moment, you may ask? Exodia is working on Final Fantasy IX and the Fable Anniversary game. These were both gifted by members of the server. Shout out to Zach and Gems respectively. Exodia has never played a Final Fantasy game before, so it's an interesting starting point. I myself am currently working on NGU Industries and the Trailer Park Boys Idler to add to my ever-growing Idler collection.
And that wraps up the first instalment of the Achievement Hunter Inc. monthly review. I want to be featured as next month's user spotlight. Have any suggestions for areas you want to see covered? Have any feedback for us? Please reach out to either myself or Bojake Horseman to talk about these further.